hasn't done that I can say he should do to say
That's
he's done it all.
He won that championship. That was it.
Everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot of assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Basketball.
So why is it that when I watch Ryan Odom, did I feel like he's the best player? Every time I watch Ryan Odom play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. I said that for a long time. BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again. It's the Love the Game podcast. We're in the building. Well, we will be in the building. B's joining. He's coming. B's joining us. A special quick Christmas Eve edition. I hope everybody's enjoying time with their family. Hope everybody's in good spirits. Wanted to just show some love, man, to some kids real quick. And talk about some of the events upcoming for the holiday, man. Make sure y'all straight. Make sure y'all got y'all schedules. There go B. B, what up?
What's good? Man, y'all just gonna start without me? I mean, yeah.
Hey, we out here, man. We gotta feed the people, man. I don't want to take up a whole lot of time, but we wanna get y'all together, man, and make sure that y'all know what's going on. Because we got a couple of events coming up. We got one event that just completed. Two events that completed this week, and 2 more events that's coming up. So we want to make sure that we get everybody together, show love to some kids, wish everybody a Merry Christmas and you know, all of that good stuff, man. But we don't want to leave y'all empty-handed. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't seen us since Saturday, I think. So we didn't want to leave y'all empty-handed. We want to give y'all something to rock with. I see everybody piling in. What up, what up, what up, what up, good people? So B, there's a lot of basketball this week, bro. Dove, what up, Wade? I got to get with you, Dove. That's my bad. I owe you. I got to get with you. I'm going to hit your line, bro. It was a lot of basketball this week. I don't know how many of y'all was able to check out the Lemon Street Classic, but did y'all hear a familiar voice on SUV TV? Your boy B made his debut on SUV TV, dog. How you feeling, B? How was it?
It was different. It's tough, you know. Like when you look at the game from a different aspect like that, you really gain appreciation for like commentators besides Chris Webber.
Say Chris Webber's still trash, but everybody else you gain appreciation for?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Like Doris Burke, how they be breaking down the game, like you really get an appreciation for it because it's tough. And you need to make sure that you bring your water bottle because you talking a lot and you're going to be thirsty. Like that's
a fact.
It's work, man. It's not. You would think that it's easy to sit behind the booth and put on the headset and just talk. Like you really, and you have to have a flow, and you got to be in tune with your partner. You know what I'm saying? Like. And so for me, that was my first time. I have no idea how that stuff works. Like, so I kind of let him do his thing, and then I jumped in when he. So, you know, it's different, but it's fun though.
It is definitely different. It's definitely challenging. I think it made me look at guys like Hillsman, who I think right now is probably the master at it for grassroots basketball.
Yeah.
Look at it differently. Like, you know, I can watch Hillsman when I'm doing prep for the show and know that, like, I'm going to get all information Huff on your head early, bro. Huff is not wasting any time.
The Wizards played one game, bro.
I know. Like,
and we lost by one. The Hawks look good though. That's why he feeling himself right now.
Right. Because they didn't look good in the preseason though. They look good in opening day, but we'll see how that goes. I'm still not a believer. But no, that announcement, man, is definitely different. It definitely is a challenge, more of a challenge than I thought when I first did it too.
Yeah. And then like you have to be prepared with like. Then the NBA is different because you can spot the faces and like I know that's Russell Westbrook dribbling down the court. You know what I'm saying? Like high school kids and some of them you don't know. You have to have those cheat sheets. You know, so you can quickly reference while you're commentating. But it was cool though, and I mean honestly, that was all in all like that was one of the best events that I probably have been to in a long time, and like you can see where that event is going to be in the future. Like it was very well ran. Like it was perfect. It was the perfect location. The gym was, of course, Marietta has a nice, amazing facility. Everything was just was on point.
That's what's up, man. I'm
not gonna mention the Hawks. That's Huff.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the my king. You mean Jesus? LeBron. Hey, if you're talking about LeBron is fine. I don't know what we're talking about. Like, LeBron is fine. They're gonna win another ring.
Listen,
like, they're good.
I'm gonna start logging off on Twitter when it's NBA game day and stuff because these people have these hot takes after one game. Like,
yeah.
Bro, y'all gotta relax.
Lakers are cool. I mean, it just reminded me of all the discussion about the Clippers, even for myself early on in the season and what they were going to be and what they were going to do. And look at whoever. And it turned out exactly how it normally turns out with LeBron at the top of this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, high school. See, Huff, you wrong for that. You wrong for that, Huff. I know who you talking about now. You wrong for that. I don't want to move off of Lemon Street yet. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It definitely made me nervous, especially to do during the pandemic. The amount of teams that had to cancel, pull out, move around, all of that kind of stuff was really crazy. It was fun though to see some teams that I don't normally get to see play.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like I enjoyed watching Wayne County.
They had a big on their team that some people should holler at. Some junior colleges should get at.
For sure. Probably a football kid, but I love watching. I got a chance to see Columbia play. I got a chance to see River Ridge, Eagles Landing, East Coweta. I got a chance to see a lot of different teams hoop, which was a lot of fun. We're going to talk about all the upsets. We're going to talk about our favorite players. Coach Bird, great seeing you in the gym, bro. It was great seeing you, man. Great spending time with you, brother. Wish you well. We're going to get to Evans beating Norcross. We're going to talk about Evans, period. Like, they showed up a lot. Ian Davis from Discovery had some good games. So first, I want to shout out to the Final Four, right, in each bracket. Evans, McEachern, Discovery, and Tucker did what they needed to do to get to the championship game. And it wasn't always easy. It wasn't always pretty for any of those teams. Evans did open up a lot of eyes. They can hoop. And what I love about it is that guys from Grovetown, guys from Evans, guys from Miller Grove, Discovery, all got offers. All got offers over the 3 days of the event. And to me, that was the most important thing. Guys that played in Lemon Street that got off, that did their thing, that really showed that they could play, got offers. And that, to me, that's truly important. But all four of those teams want to congratulate them for making it to the championship. Definitely want to congratulate McEachern and Discovery for winning their bracket. Surviving advance, man. It was tough, but those guys seen it through. Guard play really meant a lot. Cam McDowell, Randy Brady, and then Ian Davis, and there was another guard for Discovery that was really, really good. Number 11, I can't remember his name though. But they were great. But want to shout out some kids, man. Bryce, do you want to go through and kind of just shout out some of your top kids that you got a chance to see?
Yeah, and I sent you a good list, but I think the person that opened my eyes the most was the kid from Evans, the shooting guard, Brazen James. I was thoroughly impressed with him. His size, I think he's about 6'2", 6'3". His ability to catch and shoot without even thinking, knocked it down consistently. And then what was also impressive was his ability, which was crazy to me, was he caught the ball under the basket on like a 2-on-1 fast break, and he went up and dunked it without even, just straight vert, two-hand dunk. And I was like, okay, after that I was sold. So he was a big one for me. I thought Bobby Moore had a good week.
He did. He really did.
Yeah, like when some of the kids on his team started off a little slow, I think he picked up the slack. I'll tell you what, Peyton Daniels looked very good. He looked like he's ready for Vanderbilt and SEC as he continues to develop and get stronger and stuff. I think he's going to be good.
Had a 40-point game, didn't
he? Yeah. Devon Cottle, actually, Tri-Cities look good too. I think one that definitely put himself on the map was another kid from Evans, which was Rashad King, who's he looks like about 6'5", 6'6" combo guard. And the thing that impressed me the most about him was even in that first game, he didn't score that much. He might have had 6 or 8 points, but he was just very fluid, very smooth. In transition, he kind of got what he wanted. He didn't force anything, and you could kind of tell in his mind, he's like, man, I'm still the best player out here. And that's what it was. So he was really impressive. I thought Jaden Harris was solid from Norcross. I thought the guys from Lanier, Makai Vassell, had a really good opening game, and he went for like 20 and probably 10 in front of a lot of D2 coaches. He looked really good. He was really locked in that first game. Of course, Randy Brady, who we've said his name a million times. I thought he brings that old man game. He knows how to get a bucket. He just figure out a way to get it done. Yes, Zaire Green was solid.
Killer.
Yeah, he's solid.
Had a couple of 30-point games, I think. 33 in the first game, I think. And
I'm gonna give you one that nobody knows. Actually, I don't even know if I want to give it to you, but
I got one that nobody's gonna say too.
One that nobody knows is nobody gonna say is from Tucker, and his name is Tyler Pendergrass.
He's nice.
A 6'4" shooting guard, and he gets it done.
He's nice.
Yes, and
he's nice.
Yes, he's nice. Yeah. So I'm trying to think if I missed anybody else. If I did, please don't be mad at me. Of course, the usual suspects: RJ Nord, Andrew McConnell. I know you got another one that I didn't mention too, but I'm gonna let you mention that one. The usual suspects.
Yeah, I got a couple.
RJ Nord, Andrew McConnell, Cam McDowell is Cam McDowell. Yeah. Jakai Howard from Norcross, you're gonna see him emerge in the years to come. So those are my usuals. I didn't get to see David Thomas because I didn't see them play that day. But yes, he's tough too.
Yeah, I guess since DT is being mentioned in the chats, I don't know that DT is a hidden gem. I feel like we all know David Thomas. We've all watched him for a long time.
Yeah, for a minute.
But that win versus Sandy Creek definitely, and they played 2 games, so they got a chance to get. I believe they beat East Coweta as well, but that win versus Sandy Creek and his play, he has not always shot the ball like that. He is really shooting the ball with range and with efficiency. Yeah, he has improved a lot shooting the basketball. Tremendously, he's improved shooting the basketball. So I want to shout out to David Thomas, Big Dave, the whole family. A kid that we know have just kind of worked. And that win was huge. I'm trying to think. I want to shout out real quick.
Are you leaving off?
I'm leaving off from that game right there.
Oh, nah. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I got somebody to mention that nobody's gonna mention, but he's playing well. I just want to call out 2 guys that get it done defensively. And it's really fun basketball to watch. The first person I'm going to mention that you brought up, Bryce, Jaden Harris is probably one of the best on-ball defenders that we have in the state. And it's really fun to watch. Him and Miles Rice, if you want to see 2 guys that really sit down on defense, that compete, that get it done at an elite level defensively, on ball defensively, those 2 guys do a tremendous job. Not that other guys don't do a good job, but those 2 guys do a tremendous job helping their team on the defensive side of the ball as guards. Tremendous job. My top players were, of course, Zaire Green from Miller Grove was cooking. Julius Brown from Grovetown had a 43-point game against Heritage. He was cooking, really taking a lot of pressure off Zach Bell at Grovetown. Like, they're going to be really, really good. Want to send a prayer up to Jay Gant over at Grovetown. Got a tip dunk, man. It had a really nasty fall, like hit his head. I think he got undercut. It was no call, but hit his head. And I know he didn't play like in their second game. So I just want to make sure, prayers up to that kid. I hope he's all right. I hope, everything's cool. I didn't hear anything, so I'm assuming that everything with him is cool. But he's very, very valuable piece for that Grovetown team. To do what they need to do. One of the kids that I want to mention that nobody's going to mention is Grant Portera. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but he plays guard for River Ridge. He's a guard / forward for River Ridge High School, and Grant was carving people up all weekend, like attacking the basket, making shots, handling pressure. To me, he got my vote for all tournament team. Grant was somebody that doesn't get his name called often, but should. Really good basketball player over there at River Ridge. Want to shout out to Mahir Patel as well from River Ridge. Shot the ball lights out. Another guy that just makes good plays, doesn't hurt you when he's on the floor. Guards that can shoot it. So he played really well. Oh, looks like that kid got a concussion, but he'll be back. Good. I hope he comes back with no issues. I'm trying to think. You said Bobby Moore. I can't say enough about this McKeesher team. I want to.
They're good.
I question them a lot, so I want to make sure that when you say things, when you question people, that the praise is as loud as the critique. I question Randy Brady and Cam McDowell's ability to lead younger players, and especially to get younger players to buy in and commit defensively and to play hard on every play and all the little things that you need to do to win. But McEachern is sitting here at 8-2.
Yep.
And
without Chance Moore.
Without Chance Moore. And a lot of that has to do with Cam McDowell, Randy Brady, and Bobby Moore.
Yeah.
Cam McDowell has so much energy, and it rubs off on his teammates. He's so happy when his teammates do good, when they get a dunk, when they make a big shot. Cam McDowell is the happiest dude on the team when his teammates are making plays. And I feel like that rubs off. And I feel like that is a different type of culture than what we've seen from McEachern in previous years.
Yeah.
And I think that's getting them through.
Yeah. And I also have to say, too, that McEachern's coaching staff, because I watched them a few times this game. And the thing that I like and appreciate about what they're doing with this group is they're allowing them to play. And they're allowing them to, they're not over coaching them because they know they have talent. They coach them when they need to be coached. They call it timeout when they need to do it, but they're not. And we know there are some teams that have to be overcoached because they're not, as talented. But he's not doing that. You know what I mean? And, some people might look at him and say, well, he only stood up one time in the whole game. Well, he doesn't really have to because he has that kind of trust factor in those guys that you just named. So for me, that was something that I noticed too. Like whatever they got going on is working. It's working.
It is.
He's not stressing them. They can play freely. Like you said, they can, that energy. And then even like, when Randy Brady started off a little slower, Bobby Moore filled in for him. And it was like, oh, okay, I'm going to pick up where, y'all worried about him. You need to come worry about me. So they're on the right track, man. They're on the right track. Even their younger guys are good too.
I think so. I think they're going to be a very dangerous team this year, right? If they can keep that going, if somehow they get Chance Moore back and Chance is able to kind of blend into that culture, they could be a really dangerous team. I mean, right now they're winning tough games and they're doing it the tough way. They're hitting the glass. Like I don't want this show to end without me mentioning how much improvement I've seen from Bobby Moore's jump shot as well.
Yeah.
At least from a catch and shoot standpoint, behind the line, Bobby Moore is knocking those down.
Yeah, he was shooting 3.
Yeah, and it looks good, and he looks comfortable doing it. It doesn't look like it's forced, like he's trying to prove that he can shoot those. He looks comfortable doing that. And so I always love when you come out and you see guys come back and get better. So that's always a good thing too. I wish I could see the Evans McEachern game under different circumstances. Not to say that the result would have been different.
Under different circumstances. What you mean?
So Evans, their district would not allow them to stay overnight.
Oh, they had to travel back and forth.
They're driving back and forth.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
So
that's a 2.5, 3 hour drive.
I think to get to Evans is longer than that.
Yeah, that's unfair.
Yeah,
man.
A little longer than that. So it's tough. I don't know the exact distance, but wait. We have technology. I don't have to.
Are they not letting them stay overnight because of COVID or because that's just a rule? Oh, okay.
So they weren't letting them stay overnight. And they wouldn't let them get a bus. So they had to jump into cars. You were right, Bryce. 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's too far. That ain't. But I still think McEachin would have won under normal circumstances.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the result would have been different.
Yeah.
I just would have loved to see
after 3 days of that. For 6 hour traveling. Yeah, you're gonna on the third day, you're gonna feel like an NBA.
Right. Yeah. In cars too. So it's not like you had a bus so you could stretch out, you could sleep, you could in that game, everybody in the gym was asking, like, man, what's going on with Evans? Like they look like an AAU team playing their third game for the day.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. So we should give a shout out to whoever drove them back and forth.
Facts.
However they made it happen, they deserve whatever recognition they get because of that, because that's a lot.
Absolutely. And they're not going to make any excuses for it, right? I haven't heard anybody from Evans mention that. I was actually told that by somebody on staff at Lemon Street. So I didn't hear that even from anybody from Evans. They're not making any excuses about it. And I'm sure they don't want any excuses made for them, but I would love to see that game played with those guys being fresh.
Yeah, as fresh as they were on night one. Yeah,
for sure.
But you know what? There's something about Cam McDowell and, like you said, that leadership and that experience, and Bobby Moore and Randy Brady, that even on a fresh night, it's tough for.
They're a lot to deal with.
A younger group.
Yes.
To come in there and beat an experienced group of guys who've been playing basketball on the scene for a long time.
They're a lot to deal with, man. I got to give McEachin credit. I can't give them enough credit, right? They are a lot to deal with on the glass.
Yeah, they tough, man.
They're a lot to deal with. They rebound from the guard spot, from the forward spot, as well as anybody. They're a lot to deal with. But the equalizer to some degree could have been Evans' 3-point shooting, but they had no legs, bro. And you could see it. So I would have loved to see that again. Again, not to say that McEachin would not have won, right? I just would love to see both of those teams playing fully fresh. But, we got a great championship and a great game. So I want to shout out to London Johnson is going to be really good.
Yeah.
At Norcross. He's going to be really good. Still kind of adjusting to Georgia basketball and learning how to play the game here, but he's going to be really good.
Yeah. I think Norcross is going to be all right soon. They got some good young pieces.
They do. They really do. I like a lot of those kids. I like the Jakai Howard kid. I like a lot of those kids, actually.
And I don't think that, and it's nothing against Norcross, but I don't think that was an upset. Evans beating them, I don't think that was an upset.
No.
You know what I mean?
I don't think so either.
People are saying it is because it's Norcross, but both of them, they both have really good teams. I don't think it was we came in here and we beat Duke. We shocked the world.
Eagles Landing beating Sandy Creek was a freaking upset.
That's a different topic.
Handedly beating Sandy Creek.
Losing if you got 5 stars.
I mean, Donald's a pro. What, Bryce? What?
I haven't seen Eagles Landing, so I can't speak on it because I wasn't there for that game.
They were not supposed to win that game.
I don't think you're supposed to be losing to teams like that when you have a Mickey D's and a future NBA player.
The words and opinions.
Is that right or wrong? Come on, bro.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm just gonna get blamed for it. But you're 100% right. They should not have lost that game. You're not supposed to lose that game.
What was the score?
Hold on.
They lost by a good amount, didn't
they? They lost the game. 72-58.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, they lost.
I think I'm about to go pay for the SUV TV game and watch that one because I'm confused.
Yeah, I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you.
Which like what happened? No.
Eagles Landing played harder than them.
Yeah. Okay.
They played faster than them. They played, they played harder than them.
They were hungry.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing amazing. It's just,
You're not supposed to lose that game, bro. I don't care.
team,
I don't care if it's the players, if it's the coaches. I don't care who it's from, who takes the blame. You ain't
hey,
supposed to
when it's first team to the floor, getting all the 50-50 balls, getting the loose balls, hitting the glass hard, running in transition. Like, yeah. It reminded me, not as bad, but it reminded me somewhat of watching that Grovetown Heritage game.
Woo! I was just about to talk about that one.
It wasn't as bad. I don't want to paint it like that because that Grovetown Heritage game, Grovetown just.
And I get it. Sometimes you have bad nights, and they might have just had a bad night. Like they just locked in. I get it.
Yeah. And they played against a team that was locked in, like ready to play.
Eagles Landing usually has a good group always.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to speak on though, because after watching those games and being there in person, and then seeing tweets from people, whoever these people tweet are, and they come up with new Twitter handles every day and whatever the case may be.
Oh my God.
It should get out of control.
Stop having your parents tweet for you.
It should get out of control. But
Stop
my thing is, after watching a lot of these high school games, instead of tweeting how good somebody looked, how many points and assistant rebounds they had.
When you're lying because they didn't look good.
Why don't you tweet how many times that kid got beaten off the dribble?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because I saw that shit. There's no way.
Turnstile defense, just blow by after blow by after blow by.
Way that I would have been able to handle that as a coach, because somebody would have been like, yo, this dude is crazy. I watched kid after kid after kid get blown by.
Yes.
Not even try to guard. And then on Twitter, they're saying that this kid did this and this. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
You setting that person up for failure, because when he gets to the next level, he's not going to be on the floor.
Hey man, and those tweets and stuff get screenshotted and sent to my phone. It was like, oh no, Dre, I thought you said that kid didn't look good. And I'm gonna say, hey man, watch the game film. Watch the game film, because
that's
man.
I'm like, yo, if y'all gonna talk about how many points these people also had, also talk about how many times they got blown off the dribble and they got beaten off the dribble, and then they put in their team. You know what I'm saying? They back on their heels, and the kid drives past them and drops off an assist. Talk about that too.
But see, this is the thing though, man, and this is what I feel like too many people are doing, right? You got to be careful with the highlights, bro. You got to be careful with these highlights. I'm telling you, as somebody who has made a few mixtapes in my life, and the reason why I stopped making mixtapes is because they lie to you. It's a lie. I've been sitting behind the mouse, clicking and editing mixtapes for people who had more turnovers than they had points. And you lie and you make that stuff look good. And you push out those highlights, and people, when you take those highlights as that's who the kid is, and you haven't seen any full game footage, it could be a problem.
It's gonna be, bro.
Oh man, the kid had 30, but he took 35 shots.
Bro, they setting these people up for a rude awakening.
That's a fact.
Because
that's a fact.
No way you can go play in whatever conference you're gonna play in at the next level and get blown by off the dribble so easily. And I'm not talking about the dude just nice. He just puts you in the mix. Bink, 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 and he just no
binks. No binks.
I'm talking about none of that.
No binks. Catch, sweep through, gone.
I'm just talking about a triple threat. Like, no, bro. As a matter of fact, not only are you not going to play, you might find yourself at home.
Facts.
But
bro, we're talking about no jab steps, no shot fake, just catch, triple threat, sweep through, blow by you, and I'm going to the rack.
And if you're that person's coach, you should be addressing that as well.
Facts.
Because you're also setting them up for failure.
That's a fact.
Bro, if you get blown by on the dribble one time, you probably will not get back in the game. Especially if you're a freshman. Now, if you're a junior or senior, you might have more leeway because you're older. You might be playing more minutes. But we're talking about young dudes who train every single day. You're supposed to be with a guard and play offense.
And stop blaming AAU for that shit. Stop
That
it.
has nothing to do with AAU. I saw a whole week of numerous games at Lemon Street Classic and other events where kids constantly get blown off the dribble.
Look, I had somebody tell me, oh man, I'm trying to make sure nobody knows what team or what coach said this to be. But it's like, man, their problem is that these kids are selfish. You know, hey, you let them do whatever they want, and then you think you the man, and then you get out here and that stuff don't work. And you, why they act like that, coach? And I said, I have no idea because I would never let them do that.
Bro.
I don't have those problems, AAU. We don't have no idea what you're doing. I can't relate.
If you
practice every day, every day, you can practice on Saturday. There's no way your team should look like that for high school. There's no way. There's no excuse. Can't blame AAU for that shit.
You can't blame AAU. And now, here's the thing. Now, if you want to compare AAU to high school coaches in that regard, there's probably going to be more AAU coaches that are going to put their foot down immediately when it comes to basketball.
You got to go.
Like, no, you had to sit your ass down. You got to go.
That's a fact. And look, I'm going to tell y'all something. Bro. I want to keep it real between AAU and high school coaches one time, real quick. Assistant coaches in high school, it should be mandatory for you to go coach AAU. You're going to get better. Go coach 17U, 16U. You're going to go get better. 15U even. You're going to go get better. Because I sit in the gym and I watch your teams play in high school. Y'all not doing that great. Like, I watch some of your teams play, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Like, and that's my only thing is like if you practice every day, there's no reason. Now, like I said, I could see if the dude is nice, and I'm just like, yo, I got my hands full. I'm guarding it. Like I can't even coach.
Yes.
Help.
Yes.
But it wasn't even like that. It was just like, yo, I'm not even trying. Like I'm just sweep through, layup, sweep through, drop off for. Like, come on, bro. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna be in trouble.
And I just want to dispel some things for high school coaches. I'm not just shitting on high school coaches. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to build a bridge. We need to have an honest conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an assistant in high school, you should go coach AAU. You really should. I promise you, it's gonna benefit you. You're gonna understand how to develop. Because when I see players that play, you watch a high school team play, and you see them with a certain group of players. You come back the next year and you see those players, you're like, yo, none of these guys got any better.
Mm-hmm.
And I see so many high school coaches that don't really take accountability for that.
Mm-mm.
For player development. Like, he's not working. He's not getting the extra shots. He's not getting – so, like, okay, so you're just going to lose? You're just going to lose because this kid – like you're going to keep playing him and lose with the kid that's not getting better, not developing, not working. So you're not going to, like, make any changes to what you're doing.
Can't like the reason why Grovetown has been successful and why they were successful is because they were competing. Like, it's not because like they were just as talented. There were teams they were just as talented, or maybe more talented than them. But Grovetown was playing hard. They were competing. They were trying to close out on defense. They were using each other's skills on defense to talk and communicate and take charges.
True story, Hub. I watched you out there coaching AAU. Like there are things that you learn because number one, when you coach AAU, bro, it can't all be about your system.
It's not.
You have to find ways to accentuate what your team, what your players can do well, and hide what they can't do well in a very short window of time.
Right. And Dre, I tell people all the time, like when I first started coaching, I started coaching 4th grade AAU boys basketball. And then I went and did 6th grade, and then I went back and did 5th grade. So when you're coaching that age group, you have to tell them where you want them to be step by step, over and over again. So by the time you finish coaching for a weekend of 4th and 5th graders, you're going to know how to teach a diamond press because you have to, because they're going to look at you like, where am I supposed to go? Where do you want me to rotate? You know what I mean? Like, but if you go straight in and you've never done that before, you miss those breakdowns in how to tell people where to go, how to rotate, where to move, how to jump this trap, how to trap, period.
You're constantly teaching IQ.
Constantly teaching.
Yes.
Over and over and over again.
Yes.
So it's like, I went from 4th grade Atlanta rec department, you know what I'm saying, coaching them, and then taking that group and playing AAU. You would think that they would know how to run that same diamond by the time they play AAU. No, you have to tell them over and over again. So if you skip that phase and you go straight in and you get a varsity job or a junior varsity job, you're like, well, shit, I'm gonna tell these kids where to rotate. Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do.
They don't know where they're going.
Here's another thing that AAU coaches. Another thing that AAU coaches understand that I don't think a lot of high school coaches understand. You can't throw a kid on the bench and not say shit to him.
Right.
He's not a grown man. He's not a 40-year-old man.
You got to give him a
15, 16-year-old kid. If you put the kid on the bench, good, coach, bench him. If he's not good enough to help you win, I have no problem with you putting him on the bench. But if you don't say anything to him, you're going to completely crush that kid's confidence. He has no idea what his role is on your team or how he can help you or what he can do to find time to get on the floor. All of those things should be communicated from you.
Right.
Hey, man, look. Hey, listen. Hey, we need you to cut down on the turnovers, bro. Like right now, you're getting 3 or 4, whatever it is. We need you to help us on the boards. We need you to make sure you block out on the backside. We need you to make sure you get into the help line. We need you, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And that communication, like Bryce said, has to be constant.
Yeah.
Every game that he's not playing, hey, I see you working hard. It's getting a little bit better, but we need more.
And that's the thing, Drake. And it's like, you don't have to yell that. Like, and so when I look at kids, I'm watching these games and I'm like, nah, that kid probably can't play for me because he's not going to understand why I took him out. He's not going to understand, like, damn, what's wrong with him? No, I'm not going to allow you to do that because it's going to hurt you in the long run.
Facts.
Like, I'm not going to yell at you. We're not going to go back and forth.
Yep.
It's not going to be a debate. Did you do this? No, you got to come out.
You got to come out.
You got to come out.
And
now, I'm going to give you another chance. I'm going to keep giving you chances.
There you go.
But you're not doing what's necessary for you to get to the next level.
And what I think the communication that needs to be understood is that when you talk to these kids, you're telling them the right thing, but you have to make sure that they understand that, hey, I'm trying to help you get off.
Right.
You're going about it the wrong way. I'm trying to help you get off.
Get to where you need to be.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you play good. But to me, what gets lost with high school coaching is it's all about the wins and losses. I'm sorry, coach. Here's a staggering thing that that high school coaches have to come to grips with. Winning a state championship don't do shit for that kid. I'm gonna make sure we have this conversation. You winning the state championship helps you. It helps you. You're going to keep your job. You might get a raise. You might get a bonus. You might get a bigger basketball budget. You might get a better job the next time. Winning the state championship doesn't automatically mean that it's going to help that kid get into school at all. So you can't just communicate with that kid solely about what you need him to do to help you win games. You have to help him understand how not only will that help you win, but winning is going to attract college coaches. College coaches want to see kids play the right way. This is what college coaches want to see you do. This is what's going to help you as an individual, which makes us a better team. If they don't understand the link between how their personal performance impacts the team, which impacts their personal success and team success, that those things go hand in hand, you're going to lose that kid.
Yeah. Man, honestly, I feel like if you're teaching the game the right way anyway, I feel like you're teaching the game the right way. And if you're encouraging your kids to play hard, you're encouraging them to make the right basketball decision, you know what I'm saying? You're going to win those games that you're supposed to win anyway. Like, you're going to win them if you're teaching the right way. And I was just like, that bothered me. I was like, yo, I would normally, like, I don't be tweeting them half the stuff I think, because I don't even want to go down that route. But if it were me, there's no way. There is no way you can get beat off the dribble twice and think that you're not going to hear something from me.
Facts. That's a fact.
There's no way.
Impossible.
I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing that I let X, Y, and Z, this Johnny, get blown off the dribble and allowed him to be okay with that. That is not okay.
Hey, bro. It just reminds me of me. Look, I curse when I coach. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. Huff is helping me become a better person when it comes to that. But I do. I cuss sometimes a lot. And
yeah, that's dealing with the younger kids, Joe Dre.
There is a particular high school starter, right, that gets a lot of minutes for his high school varsity team that I snatched out of the game and cursed out, like, on his way off the floor. And I'm yelling at him, if you don't defend, you can't play for me.
Can't play.
All the way. And every excuse that he tried to, I just got louder. Like, because no, we're going to lose, bro. We're going to get blown out and nobody's going to want to come and see you. And people coming to see you is important to me. So you can't do, and I needed him to understand that you can never not run the floor defensively, not try to get a stop, not meet a guy outside of the paint, not challenge at the rim. Like, you can't do those things that play for me. And I don't understand where people get that from. The AAU coaches don't do that.
Right, and that's the thing they do. And the good programs do. And Dre, the thing about it is, like, I actually had a conversation with somebody today, and he was like, and the parent was like, man, I really just didn't understand what you meant this summer. I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not telling the kid or the parent anything that's going to prohibit him from getting to where he wants to be. But I'm going to observe your actions. I'm going to watch you in game. I'm going to watch you prepare, and I'm going to watch you exit the gym. And I'm going to be able to see what's going to happen with you. I can see it.
Yep.
If I'm standing on the court before you, just watching, waiting to see when you're going to warm up, and I beat you to the court, you're in trouble. Because that's not going to work in college. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So like, and I'm just saying for a 1 o'clock AAU game.
100%.
So, you know, and certain things like staying locked in, you know what I mean? Taking shots when you're open, just simple stuff. And it's just like talking on simple grassroots high school AAU simple stuff.
Yes.
And the parent was like, "Man, I didn't understand what you meant until," and you know, and man, I see it now. We starting to understand what you meant, and it's like, bro, I'm not gonna tell anybody who's with me or anybody else who I know. Like, I'm not gonna tell you that because it's you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if you're playing D3, junior college, D1, NAIA. If you are not prepared and you can't prepare for a high school game or an AAU game, and you can't compete the whole game and stay locked in and do what you need to do and whatever else the case may be, then you're going to have a hard time at the next level.
True.
And that's it. And that all that to me, it carries over from what I saw some teams at the Lemon Street Classic, you know, and then like my own common knowledge, I was like, yo, I almost like lost my mind. I'm like, yo, y'all not gonna like call a timeout, y'all not, or a halftime. Okay, get it. I wait till halftime. Okay, you can wait till halftime. You don't want nobody to see you.
Yeah.
Are you gonna allow this 16-year-old kid the seven? Like,
yes.
Like you're doing it like
yes.
I don't keep talking about it, but that was the one thing, and that had nothing to do with the tournament itself, obviously. But I was like, that shit ain't gonna work.
It's watching high school kids run roughshod over programs is crazy to me. And to have that, and the only reason why I brought it up on the show is because sitting down talking with a guy and he's blaming it on AAU culture, and I'm like, you are crazy. I kick that kid out, send his parents their money back so fast, like you're nuts.
One thing about AAU and summer basketball, if you don't defend, you're gonna get embarrassed, my friend. Embarrassed. So yes, the Lanier coach did make adjustments, and he did take his guys out that weren't competing and playing hard. I noticed that too.
Hey man, I told another coach over another high school coach at the Lemon Street Classic. I said, Coach, hey, if you're gonna lose anyway, why are you leaving them old dudes in the game?
Yeah,
they can't help you win neither.
It's a prime event for them to be going hard.
Yeah, like if these old dudes can't help you win, if you're losing anyway with these old dudes, what are you afraid of playing the young guys? Do you think you're gonna lose worse? Like at least you're gonna be developing kids that can help you moving forward. These old dudes is gonna lose and graduate and move on, and then you're gonna have to go through this again with your young guys because they're not gonna be ready.
Yeah, and you know, Dre, there's a lot of talent, man. There's a lot of talent, and I don't want this message to get, you know, confused.
Yeah, no.
It's just like it's not gonna
don't
work.
Want people to take it the wrong way.
Are going to high major conferences, mid-major conferences.
Oh my God, tell me about it. Rude awakening.
You got to be able to do that at a high school level easily.
Should have took the blue pill because that red pill gonna be a monster when you snap out of it into real life.
And maybe they listening right now. Maybe they're gonna hear it and like, well, damn, he right.
Yeah. And I don't want to make this seem like that I'm just shitting on high school coaches either.
Yeah.
I have tons of high school coaches.
It could be the kids. Sometimes kids are assholes. And they're like,
sure.
I ain't doing
that. Sure. I'm just talking about progressing the game. I mean, if we're honest, every great high school program, I don't want to say it's tied to an AAU program. They have some form of solid relationship with AAU because it's beneficial. That's all I'm saying. Don't blame AAU culture for everything that's going wrong with your team. Plug in.
The AAU has nothing to do with what's going on right now.
Nothing.
This is high school. We in the middle of high school season. AAU shouldn't even be in the conversation.
Some teams are playing good basketball. Some teams are playing bad basketball. I saw the comment earlier. Yes, Cherokee almost scored 100 points, 99 points on Columbia.
I didn't get to see Cherokee, but since I've seen them, I don't know. Maybe the timing was off. I just didn't get to see them. But I know who they have. So
I got to shout out to Gainesville too.
yeah.
Gainesville has a good team. They compete. They're extremely well coached. They run their stuff.
Yeah.
I know, bro. I know. They're going to come at me but tell me I'm wrong though. Like
what could they come at us for? Because like they should be. You practice every day. You should be doing shell drill. You shouldn't be getting beaten off the dribble like that.
That's a fact.
There's nothing. I think it's just a basketball thing. I don't even think it has anything to do with high school. I don't think it has. It's just like, bro, you are out here. What are you doing?
That's 100%, Huff. Getting in your feelings won't work at the next level. And you know, I just feel like there are a lot of, you know, it can help.
And you got to think about the how that ends up. So if I'm a team on defense and my guards continuously get beat off the dribble, all that's allowing is more layups or more drop-offs for fouls and ones. And you're allowing them to continue to play through that without any repercussions.
Yeah.
Like, you got to understand, like, the whole, like.
And I know who he's talking about, too. And it's probably not who people think that you're talking about, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm not talking about anybody in particular.
They're missing gems right now.
I'm just saying, bro, like, that's just unacceptable.
It is. It's so.
And it wasn't just him. It was more than a team.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was more than enough for me to notice it. Like, yo, y'all tweeting about how good these kids are. Y'all ain't tweeting about how many times they got beat off the dribble off a triple threat.
Like, defense was optional for some kids, and it was apparent.
Like, cut that shit out, bro. That shit ain't gonna work, bro. You had a lot of kids, Mondre, in that event that's going to the SEC. Quite a few. You had a lot of kids that are going mid-major. Quite a few. And a lot of will probably go D2 or whatever. That shit ain't gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work. And if you did not coach your kid and your team that way, then I just can't. That doesn't sit well with me. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. It don't work.
Hey man, I agree. It just guys gotta keep what's best in mind for the kid, and so being tough on the kid sometimes, having more structure, like, is actually better for the kid.
And you're still probably going to end up winning the game. This is the thing about it.
Yeah.
Playing the percentages. Do I want to give you a jumper or do I want to give you a
demand more? That's what I would say. Demand more. And, you know, last thing, and I'll get off things that I saw at Lemon Street. It was an amazing time, great event. But I saw an AAU coach go after the game and talk to his player, right? And it was some buzz about that, you know, he shouldn't have done that after the game. You know, this is a high school game. Let the player go talk to his coach, blah, blah, blah. And it just made me think again, like, that AAU culture. No, that coach was doing the right thing. He's there. He's supporting his kid. And he talked to him, spoke to him after the game. Hey, man, look, like, man, you got to work. You got to do this. You got to do that. You know, we're going to watch the film and we'll get back to it, right? I just lightly overheard what he was saying. And it's like, yo, guys, that's what relationship is. That kid is going to trust the hell out of that coach because it's year round.
Right.
He's watching. He's invested.
The kid gets to the next level.
Yeah. Coaches, if the only time you see your kids is June, fall league, and during the season, like, you're missing a big gap. Like, there's a huge gap that you're missing where you can continue to help the kid, but you kind of got to lock in too.
And my last point is, I mean, on a positive note, one thing that I do appreciate, and I've been watching Wheeler too, and one thing I appreciate about Wheeler is they defend. They're gonna make you work for everything. and that's why they're good. Like, and I don't think it has anything to do with talent. I don't think it has anything to do with stars and coaches. I think it's a culture thing and who you have and what. And I think, you know, watching them, like, you see, okay, like, you really got to score on them. And I just, you know, I think it's just you're preparing kids for what they really gonna have to deal with, man. So,
which is that's our job. We got to do it. I want to thank everybody that came out to Lemon Street. It was fun working with everybody. It went off great. Can't wait till next year. A couple other events are going on. TLC coming up. I'll flash a schedule up here.
I hope I'm on the list, Dre.
December. Emails got to go to.
It's probably too late now.
I don't know. December 26th through the 28th at Wheeler High School. Let's see. Fellowship Christian versus WD Muhammad.
Got to see Druid.
Heritage, yeah, gotta go see Druid Hills.
Check out Creekside too.
We
ain't talked about
Salem is in it. St. Anne Pacelli versus Miller Grove. That's a good game.
I want to look at Grace. I want to look at Grace Academy too. Mount Vernon. I haven't seen Mount Vernon yet either. I want to see Mount Vernon.
For sure. This Grace Academy versus Cross Creek. That's a tough game.
That's the last game of the day. Dang, they got the prime game.
Game on the main court. Yeah, gave him some action.
Where's Cross Creek? Where's that?
Cross Creek, that's another Augusta school.
Oh, it's Augusta. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cumberland Christian versus Westside Macon. I think that's going to be a good game. Cumberland Christian probably has a lot more talent than people realize.
They do. Cumberland Christian, Westside Macon, that's Cowacy School?
That's Cowacy, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one. Because Cumberland Christian has some good young pieces.
Oh, the schedule has changed. No Druid Hills or Galloway. That's tough. See, and that's the times we live in, man. Miller Grove is out too.
I think they just sent it over, a new one.
Good grief. Oh, so the schedule is just completely done for. Let's see if this other schedule I have is this correct? Are any of these teams going to be here? See, this is the life we live with COVID. Roswell, Meadow Creek, Fayette County, Tucker.
You still got Mays and Creekside, Mount Vernon, Lithonia, Salem and Heritage, St. Anne, Pacelli, and I guess that's Maynard Jackson.
That's the world we live in with COVID.
And then Sequoia on day 2, you got Sequoia and Heritage.
Yeah.
That look like it's about it on the 26th. That's tough. That's a totally different schedule.
Yeah. Okay, that the last one we showed is right. Okay, cool. So that is the 26th through the 28th, and now we got another event that's jumping. And I'm happy to be a part of this. Love of the Game is going to be an official media partner for this event. We got the Champions Classic, which I thought was a great idea for all of our longtime podcast listeners. We always talked about trying to get some of our legendary coaches inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. And who was on the coaching Mount Rushmore was one of our early topics when we first started the podcast. So I was really happy to see this and proud to be a part of it. Champions Classic, man. We got 4 brackets, 4 coaches.
Ooh, this gonna be good right here.
Yeah, buddy, man. Shiloh, Pebblebrook, Solid Rock Academy, Woodward Academy in the Coach Donald Dollar bracket. We're talking about just an absolute legend, a titan in the game. I just want people to understand that when these brackets dropped, it didn't drop without some controversy, because of course, when people see all they celebrating legendary coaches, I immediately start getting text messages about the coaches that weren't listed in this bracket. And I was like, hey, you can only pick 4 we gotta have something for next year. But I immediately got a list of coaches. But that's bracket 1 with Donald, the celebrating Coach Donald Dollar. Definitely a worthy pick right there. The second bracket is for Coach Doug Lipscomb. 6 state titles, so I think that's fair. Kell, Sandy Creek, Tri-Cities, Fayette County. Sheesh. No easy wins in that bracket at all. Then you have Coach Willie Lee Hill bracket with Grayson, McEachern, Grovetown, and Arlington Christian. A lot of heat. And the Coach Willie Boston bracket. I wish Locke was here. North Atlanta, Mount Vernon, the Heritage School, and Mundy's Mill. So Wheeler High School, the 29th and the 30th. So you got TOC, that's the 26th through the 28th. And then you got the 29th and the 30th at Wheeler is the Champions Classic. So day 1 schedule is up. That Woodward Academy versus Shiloh game is going to be a good one at 1. Like, this is good matchups all the way through. I'm going to have to peek my head in there in the Aux Gym as well, try to catch both. Definitely want to get my eyes on Mundy's Mill and Mount Vernon. That McEachern Grovetown matchup going to be a good one.
I got to see Woodward and Shiloh too.
For sure. Pebblebrook, Solid Rock, man. Kell, Fayette County, she's got to see it. Grayson, Arlington Christian, that's going to be a really good matchup. Sandy Creek versus Tri-Cities, I definitely want to see that one. So great matchups all throughout the day. You can follow the Love of the Game podcast, man. We're going to do some special stuff, media stuff for the Champions Classic. We're going to put on, man, for the kids, give them an experience of having real media availability and doing post-game press conferences and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. So hope y'all have a chance to come out and watch and kick it with us. Yeah, man, holla at me, Dove. Pull up. So great choices there, man. So I'm really going to enjoy that. So there have been a lot of comments, man, about Juke. Merry Christmas, boy. Do you want to talk about what's going on in Kentucky? Bryce, are you paying attention? Are you watching?
Honestly, I don't really care, to be honest. I mean, I could talk about it, but I really haven't been paying attention to it. I know that they're losing, but other than that, I'm not interested. There's too many other college games on to be interested in it.
Interested in a team that's not that good. I'm with you.
Yeah, like, I mean, they'll probably figure it out, or if they don't, then they'll just have a bad year.
Listen, I will be paying attention on December the 26th when my Louisville Cardinals, who just got blown out of the freaking water, like we just got beat by 100 points versus Wisconsin, is going to play the University of Kentucky December 26th at 1:00. So I will be in front of my TV. At that point, I'll be tuning in. I heard Cal is kicking people.
That's the other thing I seen. Why you do that on Twitter?
Who, Coach Cal?
Yeah. Why you have to do him like that?
He always does people like that, man.
On Twitter?
He I don't know about on Twitter, but he throws people under the bus, man.
I get that. Yeah. That was.
Hey, Juke, man. I was gonna let you out of the bet, man, but
we need we need an insider who can come on and give us, because people keep saying it's a lot going on in Kentucky in the locker room. Man, you don't know that. You ain't been in their damn locker room. Just shut up.
I mean, I will say this,
right? Duh. They won at 5.
From growing up there, right? From growing up in Louisville, right? Which is 70 miles from Lexington.
I've been to Lexington, by the way.
That
I think
basketball in the state of Kentucky is different.
Yeah.
It's just a totally different animal. If you know, it's different. When I say it's different, that that they know basketball.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when you don't play well,
They're gonna analyze it to the T.
right. When I say this, people think I'm joking.
Can't fly on the radar.
You cannot. There are Louisville and Kentucky fans in Kentucky who watch so many Louisville and Kentucky basketball games that they still have them recorded on VHS tape and they still watch them like regularly.
Yeah.
So when they're comparing you to other players that have been there, they know, right? And there's an expectation that's even higher at Kentucky when it comes to winning. Like, if you're not a championship contending team, like, you're trash. So it's a lot of pressure, man, on winning right away.
A lot of the guys that maybe I'm just out of the loop, but a lot of their 3s, 4s, and 5s, I'm like, who the hell are these guys? Where do they come from? Like the portal or something? Like they grad transfers? I know they got Obi Toppin's younger brother, but it's like, who are these dudes?
I've been saying it. Kenny Payne was the guy that I wanted.
They were saying that
head coach of the University of Louisville, and people were saying that I was crazy. I was calling for Kenny Payne. Kenny Payne won a national title at Louisville before he got the Kentucky job.
And who was the other coach that left Kentucky, the Hispanic one? They were saying they need him too. I forgot where he is now.
Yeah, he went to a school in Florida, then he got into some trouble, and then
who I'm talking about though.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. That's Dave's homeboy.
Orlando, yeah, they were saying
Orlando Antigua.
Mm-hmm.
Assistant coaches do matter.
Antigua, yeah,
Orlando Antigua.
But I think, honestly, sometimes they still have enough talent. I think with younger groups, sometimes it's harder to win games. They just ain't been there. When they start winning, they get a feel for it. They'll probably be all right. You just start 1-5.
Their problem is what you said though, B. When you're in high school and you're used to getting blown by, and it doesn't matter when you go to college and you're getting blown by, you're 1-5 at Kentucky.
Yeah, you got to defend, buddy. Yeah,
their defense is awful. That's the worst I've ever seen at Kentucky.
Everybody at that level can get it done. It don't matter where you at, bro.
100%.
And that guard and that big boy that played Illinois, they get it done. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like, they get it done. You playing in West Virginia, you playing Huggins and them, they gonna close out
hard.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter where you at, bro. You got to be able to play that next level.
But Huggins also got that big treadmill sitting on the side at practice right beside the court, turning up to like 30, 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, right.
And if you don't close out.
Can you post the next comment? Can you post the next comment? Last comment, I mean? Yeah. I think that's an issue as well.
For sure.
I think the level might be a little bit too much for my guy. And we from modern day in California. He a little too light skinned for that job at Kentucky, that point guard position.
Hey, man,
little too light skinned, my guy. You got to go with somebody like John Wall complexion. Complexion.
Hey, I got a joke about Pebblebrook and guards, but I'm gonna save it. George, have you ever had a light skinned point guard? Is Niles gonna be your first light skinned point guard, or is it gonna be? Are you gonna keep Dre just to kind of balance it out?
Dre. Yeah, he should be in high school. Yeah. Nah, no. He shouldn't be in high school though, because the kid was originally 2020. He reclassed and went 2021.
That's why I rock with Pebblebrook. Wow. Yeah, man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I think that's all I got for high school stuff. B.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hey, Eagles Landing is undefeated.
They tough, man. Eagles Landing always good.
That's crazy.
Eagles Landing always has some good players. Oh, Drew Drennan was light skinned. Drew Drennan was nice though.
He didn't last long.
I mean, he went to New Mexico. He went D1.
I'm looking at. Hold on. I'm looking. Going back to look at Eagles Landing schedule. So they beat. Okay, so they.
Oh, he reclassed up. But back in the day, he used to play with the Oakland Soldiers. I thought he was already originally 2020 kid. But whoever reclassed him up should have known that shit wasn't a good idea.
Hey, do you think I've been hearing stuff about Scooter possibly reclassing up and leaving? Do we think that happens? Is that a good thing for Scooter to do? I don't even know if it's possible. I heard that rumor, and I'm
because your courses.
Hey, people think that I know shit. I don't know shit.
I think that's harder for most to do. Like the kid from Alabama, like Kyra Lewis, he younger. I think he did it, but I don't think. He played up. I don't think a lot of guys can do that. I don't know. It depends. He might be able to do it. Scoot's athletic as hell. He might be able to do it. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't even know if that's a real thing.
From the standpoint of him getting a whole bunch out of high school for much longer, it's not going to happen. Unless he goes to you know what I mean? Like he's going to just dominate from whatever 2 more years. Like, is there a point to that? Or I don't know. That's tough. It's a tough conversation because a lot of kids are having that conversation nowadays. It's like,
So this is one of our times of the year, and I guess we can end on this topic, but it's high school free agency period officially starts. Christmas is here. This is where we see a bunch of mid-season transfers. Normally is during the holiday break. I feel like we saw some more movement than normal before the break, but
I don't pay attention to that. You got to go to Kyle Stanley website. I don't care about high school kids transferring. I don't care where high school kids go to high school, period. Like, that shit doesn't matter to me.
I don't either. But transferring, I didn't know transferring in the middle of the season was a thing.
It's only been a few people who did that. It's not been a lot.
I mean, enough that it became shocking to me.
I can only think of one person off the top of my head that did it last year.
We had multiple.
Did we?
I believe so.
I don't pay attention. I don't care about that.
Yeah, we did. We had multiple last year. Is that something that should happen? Should you be able to transfer during the season?
We did have 2. Because what's the name from St. Francis?
Yeah.
That's true. I just don't pay attention to it.
What do we think is the right reason for a kid to transfer high schools? We say that I feel like this is a topic every year, and I feel like parents and stuff always comment how informative it is and that they love that we talked about it. So I hate to keep bringing it up.
On this topic, I kind of tend to sway on the coach's side because I feel like parents have no idea what they're talking about sometimes.
A lot of times they don't. They don't understand the landscape.
Yeah. I don't really know. I think sometimes it's just got to be it's got to be an extreme situation where it's completely broken.
To transfer, period.
Yeah. Completely. Like, it's not working. I don't really get along. I'm not playing much. I'm not developing. Every box just about has to be unchecked for me. Now, I'm not in that situation. Never been in that situation. That's just kind of how I look at it. It's like, well, if it's working, you gotta kind of let it rock out. I've never been, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't really know. I've never really had that discussion. I don't know.
I've had that discussion with a few different people, and I'm kind of like you to a certain extent. Don't transfer because you're losing games.
Nah, I had nothing to do with that.
If you're playing and they and I just had this conversation with somebody. If you're playing and they letting you rock out, then play.
Right.
But you got to be careful too, though, because if you don't feel like you're getting better,
Yeah.
you're not developing.
Yeah. You could be in a situation where you're just like what? I'm not even being coached. Then okay. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Right. And I think that all depends on the kid too. I think sometimes parents have to understand what type of kid that they have.
Right.
If you have a Division III level kid, which is still a good basketball player, if you have a Division III level kid, or a lower level division or a lower level kid, you could still get that offer and not be playing at the best of schools.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it may be harder to get the high major offer, but if you had a high major kid, you would know already.
Right. And I think, and if you had a high major kid, it doesn't necessarily matter where you are because you can see like high major, he's in Macon. You know what I mean? Like there's other kid, Matthew Cleveland high major, he had Pace. Like they're spread out.
And I agree with that, George. I think a change of scenery is good for a lot of kids. I think there are some kids that need more structure than what they're getting out of their current program. And I think that's a parent thing. Not every coach is the same. Some kids are going to react better to the coach that is more of a drill sergeant, more of a yeller. Like they're just going to react better to that than the coach that's laid back and chill.
And Dre, let me give you an example. Imagine if Quincy Oliveri, who's at Rice right now, and he's already had a couple 30-point games and really good games. Imagine if he went to his parents and said, hey, man, like Westlake won't put me on varsity. I know I'm better than some of these kids. I got to go. Imagine if he did that as a sophomore. What you know what I mean? Like then where do you what could happen? So it's just a situation where you just have to really really dig deep into it and say, is the transfer, is the risk worth the reward of what could happen? You know what I mean?
And I, again, having this conversation with a couple people where I was like, man, you just need to know that your junior and senior year that you're going to play. It gets really tough if you're not going to play your junior year to really let everything ride on playing 1 year of high school basketball. Like if you're not going to play as a junior, I kind of understand a kid leaving the program.
Yeah, because you in the crunch time.
It's crunch time, or not necessarily even crunch time. Just a kid that wants to enjoy high school basketball. That's as far as he's gonna go. Yeah, but he actually wants to play.
Yeah.
And you're going to transfer to a school where you know that he can play. Now, that's a different conversation. How do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, and I've had this, and I'll say this because I've communicated this openly with the coaches at the school where I'm currently at. I've talked to those coaches and been honest with those coaches that, hey, if I don't think my son is a 7A player,
let me know.
Then we're going to go to private school and we're going to go single A private and we're going to invest in his education and then let him continue to play and rock out at single A.
Mm-hmm.
That's just you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to bite the bullet. Maybe my son's not a 7A player. Maybe he's a 4A guy or a 3A kid. Right? But kids have to have that opportunity. I never blame a kid for wanting to have the opportunity to play. We tell kids that with AAU, if you're not playing, go find a team where you're going to play. So if your parents have that mobility where they can move and get you in district where you're going to have an opportunity to play, I don't necessarily blame any kid for doing that.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge factor too. Like what you're saying, that's one that I would say, okay, like you want to play. Maybe this team is just they're too loaded. They're just too many players. Like, and we need to get you somewhere where you can see what you can do. Then I'm okay with that. But I think for the most part, I think people need to play through adversity and try to figure it out sometimes.
I would agree. I think a certain amount of adversity is cool.
It's-
It's fine. Yeah. If you're not starting as a sophomore, that's okay.
That's right.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, are you playing? Are you getting in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or are you getting reps? Are you playing JV? You know what I mean? If you're playing JV as a sophomore, like we've seen kids. James White is one of those kids. Was playing JV as a sophomore and then has a huge junior season. So I wouldn't necessarily make that be the one that
it's a tough topic, and I don't think there's any like set rules that you can say why my kid should transfer. Everybody's gonna be different.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's like some kids might need a different academic setting. Some kids, some kids get out of where they are. Like, I mean, it's just really to me a case by case thing, and it's a difficult topic.
Yeah, and I mean, I've always said this, and I don't shy away from this because I believe it's the truth. Every coach doesn't like every kid. Some people just personalities are just a mismatch for each other. So you're zoned for that school, but your personality and this coach's personality are just a mismatch.
Yeah, that may not work too.
It just may not work. Like I said, there are some kids that a coach like Bryce, I've seen Bryce coach, and he gets passionate while he's coaching, but he's not necessarily a yeller.
Nah.
Like Bryce is going to explain the game to you, show you where you're supposed to be, put you in the right spots or whatever. But there could be some kids that will respond better to somebody like Dez. You know what I mean? Yeah. Dez, you can hear Dez coaching from the other side of the gym. You see what I'm saying? Some kids may respond to that better. So I feel like that happens in high school too. And I don't think it's anything necessarily wrong with it. That's just, kind of preference of knowing who you are. But, I do think sometimes people pull the trigger too fast. Mm-hmm. And that's why I do say to high school coaches, the thing that y'all have to understand and that if you're around the AAU environment, I think you would get is that AAU coaches typically are in constant communication with their players, even the ones that aren't playing. And if they understood, if a lot of kids understood why they weren't playing, you'll keep them. I think that's why Coach Washington does such a great job with his kids. Like, they're not leaving the program, and there are some kids that are really talented that aren't playing right now. But I think they understand and they know and they have a trust with Coach Washington. They got a future in the program.
If they want to play, they can play against me. I'll gladly come over there and give him.
Watch. He ain't been to your gym since he said that, bro.
I've been in the gym. I've been
He ain't been to your gym since he said it.
I ain't play South Cobb. I was in the gym.
He ducked out of there real quick for y'all came in there.
I seen a lot of dudes on that roster who were looking a little funny in the light. Like, I know I can blow past him off the dribble. Little hezzy. Give him a little cold shoulder. Bink, he out of there. He too weak.
Hey, I can't wait. I can't wait till one of them kids him you up, Bryce. That shit gonna be funny.
They're not gonna hit me up, bro. I'm too savvy for them, dude. Trust me. Have faith.
I trust you.
Have faith in me.
Hey, look.
I can't.
Look. Hey, man, when the one-on-one against Spivey came up, dog, who put the wing play on you? I put my money on Bryce.
Sleeping on me like I ain't like, come on, bro.
Hey, man, but that's our show, man. We definitely enjoyed y'all coming on. Appreciate y'all kicking it with us on Christmas Eve at that. But wanted to show y'all some love, wanted to show some appreciation. We are at 70 episodes just during the pandemic. And it's a running joke. If y'all been listening to the show since the early days, y'all know that we have never accurately counted the number of episodes on this show. So don't look at this is episode 70 as that we've only done 70 episodes of the podcast. We're probably closer to like 200 episodes of this podcast. But like we've started the numbering over so many times. It's crazy. This could be 200 or 300. I don't know, but we're gonna count them correctly from now on. So that's I'm vowing that we're gonna do that. But may not talk to you guys between now and New Year's. So wanted to make sure that we had some time with you guys. But I hope everybody's happy. I hope everybody's healthy. I hope everybody's safe. Anybody in the Powder Springs area, man, just please say a prayer for Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Johnson is a teacher at Kemp Elementary over there in the Hillgrove district. I used to coach her son. It was in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Is the only reason why I'm talking about it. But she is, I believe, the third teacher in Cobb County that has been placed in ICU due to COVID. So, man, just please say a prayer for Mrs. Johnson. If my son, my youngest son, actually went to Kemp Elementary where she teaches. She is a fantastic, like a phenomenal elementary school teacher. So make sure y'all say a prayer. Anybody in that area, if y'all know her son does hoop, good kid. So just make sure y'all say a prayer, man, and stay safe, mask up, do what you got to do, man. This thing is real. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Y'all enjoy yourselves, man. It's the love of the game. We out.